Hey everybody, Reese here, trying to get myself situated here. Um, and let's just make sure that we've got everybody on and we're looking good. Getting ready for another awesome Facebook Live. Love doing these things. Let's see if there's anybody coming on. And there we go. All right, awesome. Okay, good. So we've got a couple of people on there, so you're all hearing me. Good. That's always a good thing. So also, just those that are early on, just type in if if you can hear me okay, if you're getting good sound from this, and we're gonna have a fun, an awesome topic today, and hopefully, I'm trying to pick some topics that I don't have to talk for half an hour to get the point across. So hopefully, this will be a little bit shorter. But I'd love to just sort of check in with the people that are on so far. What things? So the title of what we're doing here is the one thing you need to change your life. So what do you need to change your life? And so I want everybody who's on to ask yourself the question, what major thing have you changed in your life? And what did it take? So, did you start a business? What did it take? Did you have to take a business course? Did you, did you have, find the love of your life? Did it mean having to go out and meet more people or do something? Did you lose a lot of weight? What have you done? How have you changed your life? And this is the very basic thing. We're going to talk about your sort of like your life mission in a little bit. But what have you done in your life that has totally changed your life? And what was the thing you did? What was the thing that helped you change that? Okay, so let me see. So anybody want to type in what did you change? What changed and what did you change? And so I can say, I can start saying hi to people. Let's see, we've got, looks like Allison's on there and Diane's on there, Nicole, Jen, Robin. Rihanna, nice. So we've got a bunch of people coming on, so just type in anybody who wants to comment on this. Okay, so Jen, Reiki changed my direction. Okay, so what were you trying to do, and then what did Reiki? So the question is, how did Reiki change your direction? So what? So Jen, type in what changed for you on that, because this is the title of this is the one thing you need to change your life, and of course my name's Reese Thomas and I run the Reese Thomas Institute of Energy Medicine, and we do in the program we offer all of the ways you can change your life for the better. And there's no sort of one sort of like cookie cutter type of thing. It's like there's so many ways, but there's one that sort of comes down to the ultimate the ultimate change agent is one basic element that comes through everything. So change my life and my beliefs, mostly getting rid of fears. Okay, all right. So Robin, nice. So you did some work on your beliefs. So you were doing your mind, some mental work. We did some Reiki. So there's some energy work, mental work. Let's see. Katrina says some changes occurred by taking a risky leap into the great unknown. And it happened to work out. Well, you don't just tell us that. What great unknown did you leap into? Other times, big changes occurred from small, deliberate steps toward that change. Okay, so those are very general steps. Tell me what you actually did. What cliff did you leap off? Did you leave an old job? Did you decide that you were gonna try a different type of healing work or medication, or try a therapist when you haven't done that? Okay, so Jen said, I wanted to learn energy healing in addition to providing psychotherapy. Okay, so you added that to what you're already doing. Return to school to change my career. Okay, nice. So that's good. So, and Carmen says, hello, it's greetings from Madrid. Hey, Carmen. So Carmen, the question is, what big thing have you done that to totally change your life? And so if you've made a major change in your life, what is it that actually changed? Okay. And let's see. So, all right. So I took it hugely by saying yes to an invitation from a total stranger to travel the world. There we go. So that's a big step, and that changed. And how did that? And what was it that you were looking to change in your life, and how did that change it? Okay. All right. So here's, Terry, on a break in between clients. Hey, Terry, said okay guides to the guides, sending me some, so listen to her guides, listen to her inner guidance. Bill said, I joined the Reese Thomas Institute of Energy Medicine, learned my soul purpose role. Now that is the way to do it, baby. And how to open my heart to full spectrum healing. Okay, nice. I've started to do meditation. I've not seen a huge change yet, but I'm hanging in there. Okay, so Carmen was actually at this intensive meditation retreat that I was at in Germany, and meditating is definitely a way to start making change in your life. And Terry says, started changing my beliefs on being accountable for all of my actions, not just some of them. So that's good. That's a big step. Okay, so pretty much, can everybody agree? And you can just give me like a thumbs up or something like that. Can everybody agree that at some point in your life, you realize that even though you've done a lot of things, you've probably really thought about being a good person and doing a good thing in the world and all, that you have a sense like there's something either missing or something bigger that you're here to do. There's something that you want to contribute. And if you look at your life and you think about how you're surviving and what you're doing, it doesn't necessarily match up with what in your heart, in your super person heart, in your Superman heart, you have that sort of sense like there's something you really need to do. And so, and of course, I actually had a workshop the other night, and one of the knowledgeable achievers in the group said, I said, so what do you want to change in your life? What do you really want to change? And the person said, nothing. And of course we discovered later that wasn't totally the truth, but that's a very common response for people like, well, I have it all together. I don't want anything. I don't need anything. I don't want to change anything. But the truth is that there's this, the soul by its nature is expanding. So this is let me see if I can get this without the wind blowing it away. So we have the soul quality within us, and this is real. This is like the real deal. This is really what's happening all the time. See those rays? Those aren't just going out to the edge of the paper. They are going infinitely out in every direction. And our soul is constantly expanding. And when we get on that train and realize that our soul is constantly expanding and simultaneously it's not going anywhere. So the truth is that the person was right. I don't need anything. Right? So we don't need anything. We already are whole and connected to all things in the universe. And if you already are everything, why would you want anything? Right? How does that work? So that's one element. But the other element of the soul is it is always expanding and growing. And so as you have to deal with both of these elements of your body being sort of like here and now, and this is what I have, and simultaneously constantly growing. Every cell in your body can get better, can get more amazing, can have more vibrancy, more energy, all of that stuff. You realize you have this sense in your head that I ought to be doing more. And that ought to be doing more, is really here to help other people, to support other people, that we're all here in some way to make a difference in the world. Okay? So, and a bunch of people wrote some things in here. Let me just see. Yes, definitely join. Okay, all right. So we just had a few more people join. Okay, so much more in healing. Okay, so Perfect. All right. So as we think about this, since we're sort of taught to think about, all right, I really want to do more in the world. So in your brain, the do more in the world is something that's out there. So your job, so you got Reiki training, you went back to school, what else was on there? You go and you do something in hopes that will, fix the problem. That will do it. And certainly there's some things that you do that fix the problem. There's other things that don't. Because, for instance, so many people want to create a business that, and I'm actually just finishing the Life Purpose Profiles, my book Discover Your Purpose, which you totally need to get. Go to Amazon, pick it up, or go to discoveryourpurposebook.com, and that'll tell you, one, how you're going to gain a lot more of this clarity as to who you are and what you're supposed to be doing in the world. But I also am just putting the final touches on the business book, which I will be telling you about the next week or so, and the final touches also on the Profiles online training. So I've got two things coming up for you in the next week or so, a week or two, and those will be just those. So definitely don't miss out on those, because those are going to be awesome. But let's say your brain's wired that you kind of have this feeling, something, I need to expand, I need to do more, I need to contribute more, there's something more in me that I'm not offering in the world. I can tell just by what I'm doing. I'm exhausted by my life, I'm exhausted, and some of you may actually feel that, and then you reach out for something that you think, meditation or healing work, or something that you think, well, this will then do that for me, and it actually will, but it won't do it in the way you think. And this is the key. This is actually the most important element of change. Okay, so Einstein said that the same brain that created the problem can't solve the problem, right? Okay, now what that means, the brain is like an energy center. It's like a what do they say? It's 100 billion neurons, right? So there's 100 billion neurons in your brain. Every neuron is like a net. So like it's called a neural net. And each of those neurons, when they touch each other, create electricity. That electricity creates what we call thinking, called consciousness. This level, it's kind of like our brain thinking is kind of like a dull level of consciousness. Right. And so the brain has 100 billion neurons, and it thinks, and when it thinks in structure, it thinks in form, it's very wired to the world, because its job, it created this consciousness, not so that we could be one with God. That was sort of like a way afterthought after we developed some level of safety. It developed over tens and hundreds of thousands of years so that we could protect ourselves at the highest level. And of course, we've become the biggest predators on the planet. And there's very little, except for maybe hurricanes, that can actually kick our ass. And so what we have is we have a brain that thinks of something, and the problem is that brain has a certain amount of electricity that it allows itself because of the way we think, and we don't need to get into all of the ways the brain holds itself down, but in my book I talk about things called vows, where we say, I'll only think this, or I'll only do that, or I'll always be this, or I'll always do that, and that sort of condenses and holds that thought process, that limitation in there. So when your brain says, wow, I'm stuck, what am I going to do? I got to do something. It's thinking. I got to do something. Totally have to do something. Oh, God, I got to do something. Oh, I get it. Business coaching. I'll start a new business. So your brain says, an expansion of my life would be starting a business that would be healthier for me and healthier for other people. Right? Cool. Okay. So you have this thought. The problem is that thought is coming from the same level of consciousness, same level of energy that created the problem to begin with, which kept you stuck. So you can't actually, even though you can go and do business course, or you can go and take your class on this, or you can go and do this, if you don't change that level of thinking. So remember, Einstein said the same brain that created the problem can't solve it. He didn't say the same mind. Maybe he did say the same mind, but he didn't say the same level of he said it's basically saying that the same level of consciousness that created the problem can't solve it. Okay, so the key to changing anything in reality, because how many of you have gone and done something? Like I went and I did business coaching. I've done a ton of things and come back to my life and it changed something for a short period of time. And then I went right back to that. Give me a thumbs up. Have you ever done that? Have you ever gone and really tried to change, really done something, gone to school, taken the class, done this, and then come back and you notice that you have a new job, but the same person's in it? Nobody? Really? Oh my God. So nobody has had that. So everybody's made a change that's been permanent and it's just made you amazingly okay. So maybe you don't even need this talk because you got it. So what I want you to think about is this, that change is a factor of more energy. So we have this much energy in our brain. The problem is that our brain tends to isolate itself up here. Our body, our emotional centers you hear the waves here? All of a sudden there's waves from nowhere. Our energy centers, like our heart, has another 100 billion neurons. Our solar plexus has another 100 billion neurons. Our stomach, our belly has hundreds of billions of neurons. And all of these neurons have the capacity to create energy, to create electricity, the electromagnetism, which also attracts to us what we're trying to create. Problem is, if we only try to create from our head, we get really, really stuck. So we need to raise the consciousness. We need to actually link to our brain these other energy centers and actually take the power away from the brain, which is very limited in its energy, to the heart energy, which is actually managing all of the other emotional energy. And when our emotional energy comes up, that's when we have more energy to do things. So think about it. If you're stuck in your job, okay, and how many of you, you don't have to raise your hand on this, but if you're feeling stuck in your job, or you're stuck in a relationship, or you have a health issue, right? So those are the three major things, okay? Or you can have just a problem with a parent, like you can't talk to your mom. You just whatever you talk to your mom, it's like or your dad or whatever it is. You've got an issue. And so from where you are right now, no matter what you do, you go home to the house and your parents are there and it always ends up in the same thing. You're mad, you're down, you're exhausted, you're like, and it didn't work and you couldn't get your point across, and you couldn't do anything. And the problem is that you are coming at it every time trying to fix the problem from the same level of energy. Okay, now, think about this. When we get up to the brain, when we get up to our higher chakras in the consciousness, energy itself is consciousness. So when you raise your energy, now we're not talking about the kind of energy, we're not talking about the kind of energy that you drink a cup of coffee, you get good sleep, you go, come on, we're gonna bring it up, and that's not energy. That's just dumb. That's just the brain using up the energy you had to change your life by charging yourself up and making a big decision and then not having anything to follow through with it. So the kind of energy we're after is this energy that you get from doing energy work, coming to the Reese Thomas Institute, coming to an event like Insight, which is www.insightliveevent or insightliveevent.com. And if somebody can type that in for me, that'd be great. Which is coming up on the 24th. And when you get a deeper level of energy, pure energy, and I'm gonna help you with this. I brought a bowl today, and we're gonna do it. But when you have more energy itself, this energy of the heart, this deeper emotional energy that you carry in your body, this consciousness, and going deeper into your consciousness. So when you access the void, as we've talked about, the deeper levels of your chakras are at a different dimension. Some of the chakras, different dimension than your physical body. Your life purpose level. We talk about all these levels, and I share with you about these levels, right? So you access this level of consciousness, the physical life purpose level, the spiritual life purpose level, the enlightenment point. These levels of consciousness, when you hit one of those, the energy that comes to you comes directly from this, right? So it comes, and what's your soul? If you didn't have a soul, you'd have no consciousness, right? So the soul is your consciousness. So your goal in life is to raise your consciousness, raise your energy, raise this energy of consciousness. Why is that so important? Because the same brain that created the problem can't solve it. If you don't raise your core soul energy, if you don't do energy work, going to business school will never help you. Going and taking and getting your degree and doing these things. This is why I'm always like, I talk to people and they're like, well, I'm trying to decide between doing your course where I know it's going to be really good for me and I'll do my deep inner work and I know I'm going to know my purpose. But you know what? I think I'm going to go get my PhD first or do this, or I'm going to take this course and then I'll do that first and then I'll come back and do this work. But the problem is that you're going to go to that work with half the energy that you could have had if you'd done your inner work first. If you don't do your inner work first and access the kind of energy you get when you're coming off the healing table, when you do your Reiki, when you've done more consciousness work, if you don't access that at the deepest level, not just like going and meditating one time and going, oh my God, and you have that insight, but going and saying, what does that insight lead to? What happens next? What goes, and how to channel that energy and even know what that energy even means, right? Okay. When you do that, what happens is that you're raising your energy. You are expanding, and I have one more picture here. So just the energy field. So picture your aura. Okay. For most people, their aura is about out to where the yellow line is, maybe even where the red line is. Most people, their auras are only that big because what would they do with more energy, right? They'd have to change their lives. When you expand your energy field, and this at the Reese Thomas Institute, and by the way, classes are starting in October. So if you're thinking about doing this, it's time to call me and contact us. So go to ReeseThomasInstitute.com and check out the school. So classes are starting and it's all we do. On the weekend, we take each of your energy centers. We go into your life purpose profile. We teach you how to expand and feel it and know it. And when we expand your energy field, we're expanding your energy, right? That makes sense, right? Energy. You need energy to change something that's broken. So if I want to pick this up higher, it takes energy to do it, right? It just makes sense. You gotta understand. If you're stuck here, I can't do it because I don't have enough energy. Sorry. Once I get enough energy, it's like, oh, I got energy. No problem. I can lift it up, right? But I can't lift it up without more energy. If I can only lift it as high right now, the only way to lift it higher is to get more energy. So, and the kind of energy you need to change your life and live, okay, is consciousness energy, right? Because of course, there's the energy is available. Everything that you need to do in the world is already available to you. It already exists, right? It already exists. Like right now, and if I told you right now, I want you to think about and focus on your right hand. Oh, all of a sudden the right hand, it's like, oh, now that right hand became real, right? Because your consciousness expanded from just focusing on me and you weren't thinking about your hand at all to now thinking about me and having having your hand. So bringing your conscious to something expands it. So when you are doing your work, when you are expanding your consciousness in any way, and we do first chakra expansion, which is like bioenergetics and moving the energy up and down through your body and expanding the energy that way. We work on emotional on the second chakra, where we teach you how to call back your shadow and enjoy and understand that your lower self, this passion within you, has to be available to you, rather than holding it down and saying, well, no, I don't do that. I'm really appropriate. I really bullshit, just really letting the energy out, we teach you how to expand the energy of your third chakra, which is going, hey, check this out. This is amazing. And you realize that it's never going to do you any good to play small, right? And you don't just realize it, you feel it. And when you feel it, you're expanding. When you expand and you have more energy, you have more consciousness. And when you have more consciousness, you start noticing things you would have never noticed before. So if you decide that you're going to go change your life and just go do something that your brain already understands, it'll never change your life. It can't. change your life. It can change some of your behaviors, but you on the inside, your happiness, your consciousness, your willingness to live your purpose can't change unless you do the inner work to expand your energy field and expand. This is what I'm always like, God, why don't people get this? They keep trying to go to college and go to this. And I'm not against college. I'm not against business school. I'm not against business coaching. But if you don't raise your energy before you go, you can't think. Even if they give you new ideas, those ideas aren't enough because the brain only has so much. You have to change all of the energy centers to be able to do it. And when you have more consciousness and you want to change your life, what you notice is that just raising your consciousness, your life is totally different than you ever saw it before. It's already here. It's like your hand was there the whole time. It was just out of your vision. So much of changing your life isn't changing your life. And I always say to people, once you do this work and you know you're not supposed to be doing the job you're doing, don't leave it yet, because it's still a great place for you to practice being you. And the chances are really good at your work, you never brought your whole self. It wouldn't have mattered what you did, any tricks you learned, or any kind of new books you read or anything like that. It's the expansion of your energy field. You want to change your life, you have to expand this core soul energy. The only way to change your soul energy is to do basically the two things we do at the school. We teach you your purpose. We teach you to recognize within you that there's this rhythm, there's this pulse, there's this quality within you that's like been there since you were a little kid. And it has so much energy and so much passion. It's always brought you what you're doing. So that's one thing. And the other thing you need to do is you need to work on these guys. You need to work on your energy field. Actually bring conscious attention to it. Every bit of it. Not just kind of like, oh yeah, I'm meditating. That's one chakra. Every chakra needs to be worked on. You need to work on how you inspire, how you connect your heart's truth through your fifth chakra. And when you connect to the core, to the essence, to your purpose within your chakras, what comes through them is soul energy, which is infinite. Remember, the saints never, they were saying the saints didn't eat, they didn't sleep, they didn't need any of this stuff because they weren't running on external energy. They weren't trying to go and do a class on how I can eat better so I can do this sort of stuff. But we all need to do that. We all live in the lower chakras. We're not all saints. But the reality is that until you get to the deeper element of why you have the body you have and why you have those emotions and passion you have for things, you can't expand that energy anymore because you're already stuck believing that that's just the way it is and that's how much I get. Okay? And so you can't make a change until you expand your energy. And when you expand your energy, you become more conscious. And when you become more conscious, you see exactly where you need to go. You can make a decision not based on fear of your life being what it was before, because you can't even remember how your life was before. When you do deep inner soul work, and you really do the kind of work that we do at the Reese Thomas Institute, you are setting yourself up to then be able to go to business school, go take your business courses, go back to your business, do anything you want to do, go into and then sign up for Match.com. If you go and look for a partner from the consciousness you're in, you're going to get the same partner you already had before. You get that, right? You can't get your soulmate until you're in your soul. And now, listen, we all do it. We all do that shit until we realize, what am I missing? God, what am I missing? What am I missing? What am I missing? What you're missing is energy, the soul energy, the pure energy, the inner energy that you get, right? Everybody get this? Okay, so I hope we're getting this. I'm seeing a lot of little sort of like yeses or nos. So this is basically the message. If you're going to change your life, you got to have more energy. But the energy you need, the kind of energy you need, is the energy that raises your consciousness. Doing this, drinking a cup of coffee, does not raise your consciousness. It makes you more acutely aware of what you have to do, right? When you go, and then you go, boom, and you hit something, and you go after it, and you're like, I'm going to go for it. You see, you're dulling your consciousness, right? Okay? You're dulling your consciousness. You're taking all that energy that could have gone into saying something nice to somebody, actually beginning the process of thinking about, what do I really feel? What have I always felt? What have I always desired? What have I always wanted? We do so many different things around healing the shadow, healing this quality within you that you've rejected, which has all the energy in it you need to change your life and live your purpose. Okay, so is everybody with me here? Is this an easy one? And so the easiest thing to do is I'm going to do this thing exactly, and I'm going to do some bowls right here. But I am going to offer you the opportunity to access that kind of energy at Insight. Okay? Insight is in Milford, Massachusetts, and it is from 12, it's a one day, it's easy. It's like not even a whole day. 12 o'clock till 6 o'clock at night, we're going to go hard the whole time. We're going to do one break in the middle, and we're going to go through this. We're going to focus you. We're going to do some energy work. We're going to do some healing work. We're going to expand your field. You're going to experience what that's like. We're going to experience what that consciousness is, and then you're going to apply it to your purpose. Okay? And if you came to Awaken, it's totally different. We're not doing anything that we did at Awaken we're going to do here. It's a totally different event. Okay? And so if you want to just get a taste a little deeper than this little, half hour here or whatever I did, come to Awaken. What else? What are you going to do on that day that raises your energy more than what we're going to do in those 6 hours? In those 6 hours, you are going to have more energy to do whatever you want with, and be conscious of what it is that you want to do with it, rather than, I think I know what I'm going to do that Sunday. I'm definitely going to go. I'm going to go work out. I'm going to make some more muscles. I'm going to build my muscles up. And I'm going to do, that's what I'll do, because that'll change my life. And I can tell you for absolute certain it won't. It won't. It has no chance of changing your life. It may make you feel better for a while, and it's really important to get in good shape and run around your lower chakras. But until you get into your higher chakras and your spiritual centers and realize that that's where real change comes from, because the change you're looking for in your life isn't just making a few more bucks. Everybody can make a few more bucks. You want to make a difference in the world. And to do that, you've got to be conscious of why you're here. And I can't tell you that. I mean, you can read the book and you can see that I can tell you why you're here. But until you feel it and have the level of expanded field and consciousness to feel it daily, you won't get it. You'll say, oh, I'm a knowledgeable achiever, and you won't even understand it. You'll just understand really the defense of it. You won't be able to really own the power in it. All right, so here we go. So we'll do one little exercise here. So I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to bring your attention to the center of your body. Like your eyes are right around your solar plexus, just below the ribs, right there, and you're just like your eyes are right there in the middle of your body. And let these waves, the sound of these waves, if you can hear them, let them just start releasing any tension in there. Feel how tight that energy center can get. Feel how there's an enormous pulsation that's being held back. And just with each breath you take, I want you to feel that pulsation. It's deeper than what's in your stomach. It's sort of underneath. And each time it pulses, it sends out a vibration out from that part of your body, wider and wider. And as it pushes out, it relaxes the muscles. It relaxes your stomach, your organs, your ribs. It expands out wider and wider. And it goes up through all of the upper chakras, down, all the way down into the earth, and expands. And just feel that open space, that open quality. Feel how it's like rays of light, just expanding in every direction. And now let those rays of light expand out past your body and past your energy field. And just let them go out into the Earth's atmosphere, expanding wider and wider. And feel as it goes by, as it goes through the walls in your room or by a tree, feel how your energy sort of goes through that. And as it goes through these different elements, it senses their presence, their quality, their purpose in the world, and your relationship to them. Because when you're expanded like that, you and all the things around you are one thing. And just feel what's just in your immediate area, just within, say, a few hundred feet of you. Just expand. If there's people, feel how your energy moves through them, and feel how there's a real appreciation and reverence for other people who are challenging and working through life and walking this path with you. And feel how that energy now is effortlessly expanding. Feel your whole body buoyant and light. And now let that energy naturally be drawn to one element, one thing, one quality in your environment that isn't even near you. It can be, somebody in another room, or a cloud outside the building, or a tree, or flowers, or the grass, or anything. A child walking by. And I want you to just notice what your energy is drawn to. Where is your energy drawn? And if there's nothing in your environment that you're drawn to, your energy is instantaneous, so you can be anywhere you want to be at any time. And just go there. Boom. Let your energy just take you there. And now notice that you aren't just being there, looking at it, you are that thing. Feel its energy. Feel its purpose in the world. Feel that person's purpose, or that water. If you're in the lake, and I've got the lake over here, you've got anything that you desire. And then take a deep breath and come on back. All right, so I'm taking a look at these now. Just come back, and isn't that nice? Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to type in, where did your energy take you? Not your brain. Where did your energy take you? My energy went to the tree right here. Just this most amazing presence. Trees hold the love of the planet. I mean, they're without trees, I wouldn't be able to open my fourth chakra, which is my tree, right? My inner, all those. I can't breathe in. I can't breathe the energy into my heart. I can't breathe in the joy of life without a tree breathing out oxygen, right? But when I felt the tree, I wasn't feeling that. I was feeling just its absolute love of life. Just this unbendable, non-negotiable willingness to be here, be present, and be in non-resistance, right? Trees bend in the wind. They move. They live hundreds of years. These trees here, look at these trees above me. Look at these trees. They live hundreds and hundreds of years. They ask for nothing. They receive what they get, and they hold this heart, which is, by the way the heart should work. It's not supposed to be conditional love. All right. So what did you get? Come on. Who's got something here? All right. So trees, Lake Michigan, nice. Oak tree in my yard, grounded and safe. To my mother and body, where it's sick from 30 kilometers away. Nice. Okay. The water, the vast stillness. My energy went from my heart to love to beauty of children. Nice. Okay. So, and for those of you that didn't write in, that's totally fine. That energy, when you're willing to acknowledge something deeper within you like that just expanded your field. That expanded your consciousness, right? And now when you come back, you're in a place that you can't even totally think the way you used to. Not because you can't get your brain back to be that dumb again. You totally can. And most people work really hard at it. It's like, oh, well, I don't know what just happened. Let's get back to this. But what happens when you're in that state, and the crystal ball, I just use the crystal balls because they're really easy and fast, and it's just a great way to shift your consciousness into that less thinking and more feeling, more altered, more expanded state. So when you're in that altered state, you can't think the way you used to. And so you literally don't have the same mind. So now I did that in 10 minutes. What if you did a whole weekend with me? What if you did 5 weekends with me, which is what the class is? The Reese Thomas Institute is 5 weekends. There's a weekend coming up in October. Just one weekend. Just 1 week. You can take 1 weekend off out of 7, right? And then like 7 weeks later, there's another one in November. And then there's another one in January. It's like 7 or 8 weeks later. And then again, 7 weeks later, there's one in February, and then there's one in April. And these classes are entire weekends of doing this. And just when you've done your expanding, and just when your energy is coming down, starting to come back to its old routine, and everybody's hooking your attention again, your life is back, running your life again, boom, we have another class. And so we actually teach you how to consistently build through the chakras, through these different energy centers, the energy you need to really change your life permanently. And I mean, if you talk to students in the school, not everybody's here to make $1 million. Not everybody's here to have the big business or to, you're here to be happy and discover. And wherever your consciousness went, whatever you experienced when your consciousness went, that's probably a clue for you as to what you're here to do in the world, right? So that's how it works, right? Consciousness knows where you're supposed to go. It's your soul. Your soul's just waiting there going, la, 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 la. When are you going to bother to listen deep inside of you? So you want to change? You need more energy. More energy, the kind of energy you need is not just like, whoa, 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 energy, because that will just, and Carmen actually said it in here. I think she said something up here. I read through it. Where was it, Carmen? Where were you? Okay, she said, I went, I wish you were in Boston area to go to your school. Carmen, I go back and forth between Spain and here. It is nothing. You get on that plane, you get over here, it's nothing. You could totally do it, and you got to do it. You got to, just look at just check the weekends and put them on your calendar. That's how you do it. All right, anyway, she said something about doing, going and doing the work, doing the business training, doing the thing, and then it didn't change your life, because it's not going to. Nothing you do from the same level of energy that you came in with it will actually change your life. It'll just make the same life in a different version. Want to change your life? You got to expand your energy. You want to run a business? Great. Come and do your energy work first, so you have the energy and the consciousness of what business you're actually supposed to run. Because most people have this idea they're supposed to be a certain person or do a certain business or do something, and that's how I help people. Listen, this is how I help people, right? This is my healing practice. You don't have to lay people on the table, even though if you have the healer archetype, you might. What's your healing? What are you supposed to do? And every consciousness is supposed to heal other people. All right, so enough of that. That's why you already know that. You knew that coming in. I'm just telling you that if you don't do the kind of work I'm talking about right here and really do the work, it's not just like, I was meditating. I've been trying meditation for a while. You sit down and meditate until something freaking happens, or you can't do it on your own. So you need to come into a group and work with the group and the dynamics of the relationships and the everything, just like we do at the school. This year we'll have about 110 students in the school, maybe 111 if you come. And And when you are in a group of people that are all expanding their energy field, it makes it safe to expand your energy field. When you are in a group of people that are all shut down and doing their job and improving themselves, and and they're going and taking in self-improvement courses because that'll do it, and I'm going to make my business, and I'm going to do this, and all that sort of stuff, nothing changes, nothing grows inside of you, and your heart can't expand. That thing that we just expanded can't expand. It's told to shut up and sit over there while we do this great work we're doing. Yes? You got it? Bye, everybody.